Hey everyone, Tankenstein here. Some huge news today in the form of discounts coming to War Thunder. We have a one-off sale taking place for about a week, and in this video I'll go over all the details that you need to know about it, including give you a little bit of a buyer's guide on which vehicles I think are the most worth purchasing. Now that being said, this is being run for the National Day of the PRC, and it's a bunch of 50% off sales in the Chinese tech tree. Not just the ground, but we are also getting the air and a helicopter as well. And of course there are going to be a few vehicles coming back for sale, which is pretty cool, that are going to be 50% off in their own right. And we also have a decal. So that being said, from October 1st at 11 GMT through October 8th at 11 GMT, we are getting this sale. And the first vehicles here on sale are going to be the Al Khalid and the J7D. Personally, I think of the two, I would rather have the Al Khalid, but the J7D is fantastic in its own right. These are very, very good vehicles. The Al Khalid for its BR is easily one of the best premium tanks in all of War Thunder. And we also again have the J7D here, which unlike the Al Khalid, which has seen BR increases over time, the J7D has largely seen BR decreases, which has also made the J7D very, very good relative to its BR. Now, it does not have all-aspect missiles, but it is extremely maneuverable, and its missiles that it does have, the rear aspect only, are still fantastic in their own right, and it can even perform a little bit of CAS. Believe it or not, despite the fact that this is based on a MiG-21, it's actually not the worst for CAS. It's relatively good compared to most MiG-21. So very, very good fighter. I would take the Al Khalid over it, but the J7D should not be slept on. Next, we have a few vehicles that are coming back for sale, and they're 50% off. We have the Type 69-2A, which, if I'm not mistaken, and correct me if I'm wrong, this vehicle was for sale at one point only in the Chinese servers, and is now in the American servers, being sold, give or take, just at random occasions, and is still a very, very rare vehicle. This is a rank 5 and is selling for 4,190 Golden Eagles. Then we have the T62 number 545 selling for 4,365 Golden Eagles and is rank 6. Personally, I think the Type 69-2A is the better of the two vehicles, but it is only rank 5, and for just a few more Golden Eagles, you can get the T62 number 545, which is rank 6. And if you guys don't know, the higher the rank that a premium vehicle is, the less of the tech tree that will be affected by RP and penalty. So basically what I mean is that if you have a rank 6 vehicle, you can grind through rank 7 of that tech tree without penalty, without RP penalty. So basically you can grind all up through your rank 7 vehicles without receiving any sort of penalty, whereas this can only do it through rank 6. So this is, in my opinion, a little bit more worth it, even though the Type 69-2A is a little bit better of a vehicle overall. It's got more tech to it. The T62 number 545 is just a basic T62, so if you just look at that, you'll see exactly what I mean. This is a very, very basic tank, but still a very good vehicle. Now that said, there are a few vehicles I would actually take above these, and that said, let's kind of go over them right now. So first and foremost, I'm just going to skip to the end of this list. I mean, we have the T69-2G, A5C, Z19E, WMA-301, and the ZTZ-96AP. Yeah, I would just take the ZTZ-96AP over either of these vehicles for two reasons. One, it's a very, very good vehicle in its own right. It's kind of like a Chinese terms in a way. If I'm not mistaken, it's a little bit quicker, but has a little bit less armor compared to the terms. Fantastic vehicle overall, but the main reason why I would take this is because it's a rank 7 for 4,635 Golden Eagles. If you look at this, you're only looking at around 300 more Golden Eagles, and it's a rank higher than the T62 and 2 ranks higher than the Type 69-2A, meaning that yes, being that the current ground tech tree is limited to only rank 8, this can grind out through the entirety of the Chinese ground tech tree by itself, and it's a fantastic vehicle. 100% I would recommend this over those two vehicles. Personally, if you're going to be spending money, I would still take the Al Khalid, over it. But if you're not going to purchase the Al Khalid ZTZ 96 AP, definitely. Then, of course, we have some other vehicles here. The T69 2G. It's very okay. I think I've got a review on pretty much all of these vehicles. But the T69 2G is an okay vehicle, nothing fantastic. I don't believe it has thermals at its BR, which is kind of weird. But definitely, I mean, why would you get this if you can just get the ZTZ 96 AP? It's only 80, or actually 90 more Golden Eagles, which is just minimal, essentially. If you're going to be spending this many, you may as well spend this many. Then we have the A5C. This is kind of similar of a story, I guess you could say. It's a very similar BR. If I'm not mistaken, I think it is the same BR as the J7D at this point. And it is a very, very good close air support weapon or aircraft. It lacks smart weapons, which at its BR doesn't really matter all too much. It is a bit unfortunate, however, and it's even still a pretty good anti-aircraft platform, right? Like a pretty decent fighter. It's meant more as a strike aircraft, but it was based on the MiG-19 and is pretty good in its own right versus aircraft. You can carry magic missiles on it, and if I'm not mistaken, AIM-9Ps. Both are very, very good, so it is just a very good aircraft overall. In my opinion, if you want more of a fighter, I would still go for the J7D, but if you want something that's a little bit more close air support oriented, I would go for the A5C. Plus, it's a rank 7, which is just fantastic. Not that the J7D isn't rank 7 as well, but again, more CAS oriented, go for the A5C. If you want more of a fighter, probably the J7D. Next, we have the Z19E. This is a very good, believe it or not, anti-aircraft helicopter, thanks to its, I believe they're the TIE 90 missiles. They're actually really, really good versus aircraft, and this thing can carry a whole bunch of them, so it's really awesome in that way, and it also has pretty good anti-ground weaponry. So in general, I think it's a very good vehicle. It's a helicopter, so there's not really a ton that you can do with it outside of just kind of acting as kind of helicopter CAS in a way, if you want to consider it that, for ground forces. So it's a really decent vehicle overall, and being that this is the only helicopter on sale, I would say it's largely worth it if that's the sort of thing that you're going for, but there's a whole bunch of other things I would kind of take over the Z19E, including the ZTZ96AP, A5C, Al Khalid, the J7D. I mean, there's just a lot of other vehicles I would take over this just because of its limited usefulness, but for a vehicle, it's a pretty good vehicle considering what it is. And then finally, we have the WMA 301. This thing has seen a pretty large amount of BR increases over time. I feel that, this is a rank 6 vehicle. You may as well just go for the ZTZ 96 AP. However, this is probably the most unique ground vehicle on sale because it is a light tank. It is very, very fast, and it has a an extremely versatile armament. So it doesn't have the most powerful armament in game. However, it is pretty decently versatile. And if you're looking for more of a scouter or a light tank, it's actually quite a fun vehicle. And even though it's seen its share of BR increases over the last few, years, I guess you could say, it is still a pretty effective vehicle. So I think it's a good vehicle, but if you're going to be spending your money, you may as well just go for the ZTZ 96 AP, which in my opinion is about as good as the WMA 301 relative to BR, arguably better depending on what you like. But again, it is a rank 7, and you're going to be getting a lot more value out of it. And then finally, of course, we have the National Day of the People's Republic of China 2025 decal, which is a few rabbits on top of a building with some lanterns flying around. So pretty cool in my opinion, but that is about it. And in order to get this, you need to earn 3,000 mission points in battles where you have used Chinese vehicles at rank 3 or higher. And, that's how you can get it. And it runs from October 1st through October 8th, both at 11 GMT. So that's about it. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. I feel like this is a pretty interesting sale. Definitely something that a lot of really good vehicles are on sale here. But again, if you have your limited funds and you don't really want to buy all of these for one reason or another, I've already kind of listed out which ones I think are the most worth it. So again, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all on the other side. Take care, everyone.